John Wick, Chapter 2. It was a good movie, I reckon. This movie stars Keanu Reeves, Ricardo Scaramaccio. I know I said that wrong. Ruby Rose, again, she's running through a lot of movies. She's young. She's like 20, 21, 22, something like that. And she's doing a lot of stuff. But this is one of many for her. And they took her voice away. She doesn't get to speak in this movie. So she's just like pointing and using sign languages and, stuff. I don't know sign language. And that's her thing. She doesn't have a voice. So it's all facial expressions and hand gestures and body language. And she does good. She's interesting. She plays Ares. She's not as dangerous as the previews make her seem, but yeah, she's in it. Common is in it. Common's a big dude. I actually saw him at an airport once. He's a big dude. And he's in it. He plays one of the assassins. And he's like a tough guy in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne, who is in the movie. Lawrence Fishburne is one of my favorite actors, and he does a fair job in this movie. I've seen him do a lot better, but in this movie, just having Lawrence Fishburne adds to the acting chops of the movie and credibility, so I dug it. John Leguizamo, he was in part 1, he's in part 2. He's got a bigger role in this movie. He does more, which makes me think they're building on his character. Essentially what it is John Wick is trying to retire, but he owes a favor. Someone calls on that favor and he has to perform an act that he does not want to do. So he's persuaded to do the act. And afterwards, they're not really friends no more. So John Wick, a world-class super assassin, he's like a super villain, sorta, He's the boogeyman, and he's essentially, from the way they portray him, like the greatest assassin ever, and a guy who has the ability to hire a multitude of assassins. These two guys get into an argument, a debate, a decision about whether John should still be alive or not. John Wick wishes to be alive. This other gentleman wishes that he weren't. So he rains down on him with assassins. And it kind of put me in mind of another movie. It kind of made me think of that Aces movie, and where all of these assassins are just out, and all of these different colorful type individuals are doing their thing to try to battle, one another and John and whatever. And it kind of put me in the mind of that. It also kind of put me in the mind of Harry Potter, in the sense that Harry Potter takes place in a world where magic does exist. And it seems like nobody knows really that there's magic, but they're running through the street. They got crazy taxis, there's demons and monsters and dragons, oh my. And nobody really seems to notice it. They're like, the world is like sleep. That's the John Wick movie to me. There's a hitman on every corner. There's somebody connected to the mafia or whatever. There's hotels that you can go to. It's right in the middle of town. And regular people, vacationing from Hoboken, don't walk up and knock on their door and say, we'd like a room. It's only assassins for some reason. Nobody else. It's like nobody can see the hotel. And they've got rules that all of the hotel, people know. All of the assassins know these rules. They've got like places where you can go and get a suit, special assassin suit made, and, buy special assassin guns and bullets. that nobody else would just walk in there. I mean, I've walked into buildings that I wasn't 100% sure what it was. I mean, it looked like a restaurant, thought it was a restaurant, wanted a sandwich, so I walked in. And luckily for me, it wasn't a bunch of assassins meeting, planning on blowing something up. But in John Wick world, you apparently could accidentally walk into a building filled with assassins because they were sleeping on the street. I mean, they were everywhere, man. So yeah, and nobody seemed to notice it except the assassins. They were the only ones that knew. Common seemed to be just about his equal. You know, those were probably the best fight scenes. There were at least two, at least. So those seem to be the best fight scenes to me when Common and John Wick were on screen together. They seem to respect one another, and they give the impression that they know each other from way back. There's some story there. They didn't get into it, but there's definitely something happening, and that was kind of cool. And they appeared to be just about equal. There's a crap ton of people that get shot up. You know, people are getting blasted left and right, hit with cars, blown up, stabbed, karate chopped in the throat and stuff, shot in the face. He's double tapping everybody. Everybody's getting shot in the face. I mean, if you were trying to shoot somebody to death, shooting them right in the head would pretty much do it. But during all of this carnage, I don't think I saw one police officer. I don't think. And if I saw one, he was in passing. But there were no police like running to the scene, you know, telling everybody to put your guns down, man, stop shooting people. It never happened. And I'm thinking it's so that you can identify John Wick as the hero. Because in the real John Wick world, if a bunch of cops ran up on him, he's probably going to blast them too. But they want you to see John Wick as the good guy. So he's the good guy. Can't bring the cops there, man, because they'll shoot them too. I think this is Keanu Reeves' big thing. He's done other movies, including like The Matrix, and him and Lawrence Fishburne being together in the movie is kind of like the Neo and other guy, you know, together again, and that was cool. But they kind of matrixed it up for just a few minutes. But this is his movie. I mean, I like The Matrix, and The Matrix was cool, but this is definitely Keanu Reeves' thing. He doesn't have to be the surfer dude and, you know, chaw. He doesn't have to be like that. He's just doing his movie, and it's cool. I dig it. They set up for a third movie. I'm thinking that they're setting up for a third movie. They're going to do another one. There's too many unanswered questions. If this movie makes enough money, they're going to do another. There's almost a guarantee of that. One thing I'm thinking of, one thing I'm going to say that I think is a thing, the character Winston, the guy that like runs the hotel and, you know, the safe spot for everybody. You can't kill anybody here. That guy, I think there's more between him and John Wick than we know. Maybe John Wick saved his wife. They're too close. There's too much of a connection. Maybe he's John Wick's father. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But there's more story there too. They got a lot of places they can go with this movie. This movie was more than just a shoot 'em up. If you think about it, if you watch it and you think about all the questions and the unanswered questions, then yeah, there's more to this movie than just a bunch of Judes blasting each other. So yeah, I dug it. And I give this movie, I give it a 7. I give this movie 7 bags of popcorn. Almost 8, but not quite. 7 bags of popcorn. Now, if you dig the context, if you like the video, and you'd like to see more, right down here in the corner. Click my face and subscribe. And then like.